Good morning, Pat.
Happy New Year.
Ooh, I slept for a long time last night.
That's right. Rumpelstilts, Tom.
So you texted me asking if I wanted to start at 8:30 rather than the normal 9 a.m. And when I was setting my alarm, I looked back to check, and the only thing I saw was 9 a.m. So I set my alarm for 8:20. Still waking up. I apologize about that. Yeah.
Oh, not a problem at all.
But here we are.
You have to answer to God and Matt. Those are the only two you have to answer to me.
Can I start the episode with a little bit of follow-up from last week?
Please do.
Two quick things. Well, just one quick thing. I mentioned, I think, taking the picture at the wedding in that Hello Internet t-shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did? Okay. So Brady Heron, the host of that show, DM'd me on Twitter asking for my address and for Megan's name. And there were a lot of people on the show calling for a Medal of Honor, which they actually made up, like casted medals of honor that they were going to give to their fans when they do extraordinary things. And he asked my address, and a lot of people were like, dude, he needs a Medal of Honor. I was like, oh my God, am I getting a Medal of Honor? I got my hopes up. I received something in the mail from Brady, and it was a very kind postcard of downtown Adelaide, which anyone who listens to the show would kind of get that, with the mighty black stump circled on the postcard, which is the t-shirt I was wearing. And it was a very nice letter just congratulating us on the wedding and wishing us all the best. And he like kind of hand drew the Adelaide skyline with the mighty black stump in it. And I just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. Like, my favorite podcaster sent me a wedding postcard. Like, oh,
and all it took was one t-shirt to do
Right.
it.
Right. And I think another cool thing is he actually runs a website called, I think it's like Podcast Postcards, because they were going to make a flag for their podcast, and like tens of thousands of people sent in postcards with their vote on it. So he runs a website where he shows a postcard every day. So it's like even cooler to like get a postcard from the guy who like has a website showing postcards people have sent to him, but like I'm the one getting it in this case. It was kind of cool and very heartwarming, and just podcasts are super awesome. It made me just so happy.
How's life back at home? You're a week out of the Hawaii lifestyle. How you feeling?
I actually had a stress dream about the wedding last night.
Oh no.
But it was fine. It was just like, I didn't have enough time to sit, hang out with all the people I wanted to, which is exactly how it went.
Oh, that's less violent than your last several.
Right. It's been good, man. I've only worked, 10 hours since I got back, at Tesla anyway. I got back, had one day of work, very short day, and then it was 4th of July. And then I've just been editing podcasts. I've been home for I've had like a 5-day weekend, which I think I mentioned my normal is going to be 4-day weekends now. Damn, dude, I cannot wait to be self-employed. Like, I thought it would be hard. This is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've been definitely more active on social media, that's for sure.
No.
Tom's at home today.
No, that's not true.
It is kind of true.
You mean like on our Twitter? Or what?
No. I mean, the dank memes that you're sharing on Facebook.
I think my friends have just been more active, so I'm reposting. I don't know.
Well, there you go. Also, sorry in advance for that truck that just drove by. I know when you're editing this show, you're going to definitely hear it.
Shake my head.
That's right. It's going to shake the whole country. But yeah, so this is the New Year's Eve follow-up episode.
Yeah.
And you have a few written here.
Yeah.
A few dozen, I guess, would be more accurate.
For people who aren't, I guess, familiar, I think everyone is. We gave our New Year's resolutions. I think it was episode 50-something? 58, I believe. And today we're just going to see how we're doing on all of those. I don't think I could have anticipated what was going to change between then and now, but we'll see if Pat has ever made that sauce.
That's right. That's the only tease, the only cliffhanger we have. Once that reveal happens, then the show's pretty much over.
Have I started paying my student loans? And
that's another good one.
Have I made any friends? We all know the answer to that one. So,
whoa, do we? Stay tuned. Before we get into it, is this year going by fast or slow for you? Like, are you surprised it's July or?
I feel like it went at a very normal pace.
Oh, okay.
Like it went by as fast as you would expect it to. Like when I look back, I mean, this is just what happens with time. It seems like the months go by faster than you expect, but looking back to January, it seems like a normal amount of time.
It does seem like it's been forever since you guys were in Cincinnati, but I guess it feels like it's going slow. But once it hits to August, I'll probably think, wow, damn, it's already August.
Right.
But, and I still will have not made the sauce. There you go.
God damn it, Pat. I've made so many sauces between then and now. So many.
I've done some other significant things, I guess.
Okay.
So
last
the sauce took the back burner.
Sure, the sauce took the back burner. Now, when we were recording this on January 1st, you got very awkward about one thing in particular, saying it's none of anyone's fucking business.
I don't know if that's a direct quote.
It absolutely is. I listened to the whole episode last night.
Oh, did you? Well, you like to be a little more personal on here than I did.
Sure.
Than I do. But got engaged, which was fun.
And that was the plan, right? That was the resolution?
Yeah, that was definitely something I wanted to get done this year. And the wedding's scheduled for September. That's very exciting.
Wow. Okay, so
was that technically one of yours as well? Or I guess you had it was already in the works.
Right, I was already engaged.
Gotcha.
I kind of beat you on that one, right?
You did.
So if you fail everything else, you're fine.
Yeah, that one feels pretty good.
Right, right.
I just wrote whoops on the notes for the show. The sauce doesn't super add up. It is an important aspect of how I want to grow, but it is a smaller thing. Definitely smaller.
So I think I counted 17 list items goals, and I can knock out the ones, just some quick ones. Since Elemental was essentially shut down, there are a few that aren't relevant anymore. I wanted 2 to 3 shows monetizing. I wanted to find a co-founder. I wanted Mike Rowe to be involved in the network somehow.
Who you've worked with before. That for people just listening, you just didn't just pick a random celebrity.
Right. We have interacted in the past, and I did some cool stuff with him, or for him, I guess you could say. All those are, whatever, because the network was shut down. But one of my other list items was 7 editing clients, and I thought that would happen a lot slower because I was juggling the network as well. But since I shut the network down, I think right now I have 8 editing clients, but I'm doing like 13 shows. So very happy to have that one going for me. That's very important. Tesla is paying me, their work structure has changed, so I'm barely working for them at all. So very, very lucky to have the clients and the jobs that I have.
Solar City got hit pretty hard, so you were making that transition at the right time, right? Like over the past few months?
Tesla, yeah, they laid off over 10% of the company. My whole crew got fired while I was on vacation. A bunch more salespeople got fired. So my job with them has slowed down. I mean, I only worked, I think, like 12 hours last week, but I still get that dope health insurance for me and Megan. Yeah. So
at that point, you're just there to get that, which is nice.
Right. Theoretically, the less I work at Tesla, the more money I make because I make 3 times as much editing. So
is there any way if this becomes a legit, like if you file what you're doing as a company, is there any way to make that like get company health insurance for yourself, or like how would that even work? Well,
it is an LLC, but I think I would just have to pay out of pocket for health insurance, which could be like for Megan and I like $700 a month.
Oh wow!
For like shitty health insurance. So right now, for health insurance, vision, and dental, and accidental death and dismemberment, $200,000 policy, I'm paying like $95 a month, and I go to the doctor for like free. So we're both healthy, so it's not that important. But I think I mentioned I had an emergency appendectomy like 2 weeks before I lost my Obamacare, and it would have cost me $37,000, but I only paid $75. So I'm kind of like terrified to not have insurance now.
Yeah, sure.
But hopefully
that's the whole game.
Right. So no sauce for you.
Yeah, that's pretty much my only update. This is no, I had an interview yesterday with somebody from Big Brothers Big Sisters Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Which was exciting. And you were nice enough to write a recommendation for me.
Now, that's the third year that's been on your list, right? And last year, I think you mentioned
we've only done this for 2 years, I think.
But
right?
last year, you followed up your list from the year before that.
Right. So this is the second year. And I had gone to a few meetings in Cleveland.
Right.
But ended up moving, and they want you to be able to make at least a year-long commitment.
Right.
To be there for, the younger sibling they hook you up with. And now that we know we're going to be in Cincinnati for at least 1 full minute. Yeah, so they came. I hope it went well. I think it did. And they'll match me up with somebody, and you find a few hours every week to go to an art museum or play some catch or, there's a whole number of things you can do. But it's exciting. Jessie just got matched up with her younger sister.
Oh, wow. You're both doing
yesterday.
it.
She's really excited.
Nice.
Yeah, we, I don't know, without getting too deep into everything, you can talk all you want about certain stuff, but unless you really get involved and try to give back to the community, then talk is cheap, I guess. So
sure.
Yeah, it's exciting. And I'm a little scared wouldn't be the right word, but I just hope I am doing a good job. I guess that's, you know what I mean? She was like, do you mind if going through the checklist? And I was like, yeah, I don't, I just hope you do a good job, right? It's definitely terrifying to a certain degree you wouldn't want to I don't know. I'm not a trained medical professional or a teacher or anything like that. So
my sister does Big Brothers Big Sisters, and she has a little, I don't know, we call him a little friend, whatever, sounds kind of weird, named Coco. And they hang out all the time. They fucking love each other. And seeing her Facebook posts is super cute. And I'm excited. I mean, you don't have Facebook, but, excited to hear the times that you have. When I filled out the questionnaire, they asked me a bunch of questions. And I had just finished listening to our last episode, which finished with your best man speech. And I was feeling a little mushy. So I think I wrote a pretty good... thing.
Well, thank you.
I was talking about Cody. He's my cousin who lived with me and my mom for most of his life, I guess, up until a few years ago. And Pat, you were super good with him. And I think it said, is there anything else you would like to add? Was the last question. And no, Pat, I wrote, I don't know if you give out trophies for Best Big Brother of the Year 2018, but if so, I would start engraving Pat's name now.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that.
But I mean it. That's sincere.
Well, no, thank you. I'm not good at taking that stuff, so I'm just going to say thank you. No, it should be fun, try to teach them whatever they want to know, really, Go get a library card and go shoot hoops or go. Yeah, I think for a couple years now, some type of altruistic endeavor has been on my list. Again, priority over the sauce, which is why the sauce is still not happening. So as we go through the episode, hopefully people understand why the sauce is taking a back burner to some of these things. Getting engaged and giving back, those are two good large items, I guess one might argue.
What if you get a kid that isn't into sports or reading, have you thought of things to do if it just seems like they don't want to do anything? Yeah,
they kind of chatted about that. They kind of ask you when they do the in-home interview, do you want someone who's a little more outgoing or a little more shy and quiet? And I have I told them I could do the sports thing or the library thing or this or that, and kind of I think they try to match you up with the things you like to do and how you are.
Sure.
So I mean, they're not in the business of, I guess, getting bad. They want it's in there. They want it to go well.
Right.
So they're going to do all they can to avoid that. But I'm definitely, I told them I'm going into it with an open mind, and I wouldn't, shy away from something like that. Just show up every week and do whatever the family, because the parent, there's a parent there that wants to see it go well too, and you communicate with them and would come up with a plan, and so it's not just me trying to guess and be like, do you like Christmas specials? There's some good claymation ones. It's not going to be that. So there's a system in place, and it's exciting. It's really exciting.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, Jessie was saying, I always joke with her, sometimes her plate's full and she tries to add more stuff. And,
right.
There's definitely a lot going on, but it'll be good. I mean, 2 hours a week is, we sit around and drink coffee before work for like 4 hours every day. There's absolutely no reason not to be able to fulfill that type of commitment.
Right.
And I was like, I'm getting married in the fall. I can like skip that week. And she was like, yeah, I mean, it's not, the whole point is, as long as you come back the next week and things like that.
Right,
so.
right. He should be your ring bearer.
My cousin Julie's son Giacomo has that.
I'm sorry,
title.
Giacomo.
Yeah, I think it's Italian.
That's so
her
cool.
Her husband's name is Dominic Gianola.
Wow.
So a lot of Italian vibes there. But he's a cutie. He was a little afraid to do it, so Jesse and I recorded a little video to invite him to do it. And he sent one back.
Can we put those in the show notes? That video?
No, I regret ever talking to you.
Dude, I put my feet in there every day.
I'm not you. You're not me. I never asked you to put your feet in there.
Okay. No, it wasn't you. It was the fans.
The fans did. And he sent a video back just saying, like, joking about wanting to put a banana peel on my head and stuff. So he's at the most adorable age possible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it should be good. We're like an official 2 months out now, so.
Damn.
Yeah, it's heating up.
Can't wait. You still got to buy those plane tickets.
That's right. And book the hotel.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. Great price. So metric system did not go well for me.
I dragged you so hard for that, and I'm sorry if it got cruel, but that was just such an odd endeavor.
I tried. I mean, there's still like a buddy of mine, Tom. I think he's an aerospace engineer. He always talks in metric on his posts, and it's just like, well, people do it, He has to think in metric at work, so I get it.
I think like, should America be on the metric system? Probably, yeah. To be the only person in the world doing one thing. Right. I mean, right. But for you to, for your protest to take the form of just one dude living in America not doing that one thing, it just was hard and confusing, Just like, well, I woke up at 2 degrees Celsius. How is this? Like, I'm going to be your friend whether you do this weird project or not. You're not taking a stand here.
So that didn't go well. How do you?
I'm sorry. I'm going back into my old habits, just dragging you so hard for it.
How would you think I did with the energy drinks? What would you guess?
I would guess that you drank coffee but no energy drinks.
Oh, thanks, Pat. Not true at all. What happened
was
at
least several cans a day less than 2014?
Right. So I didn't have any for like the first 2 months. And then when I was in Vermont snowboarding with Megan, I had this really bad issue with my feet cramping up. So I did like one run and then I stayed in the lodge the rest of the time. And Megan was buying drinks for people. And I was like, man, that Monster looks so good. And she knew that I was doing this, but she must have like forgot. So she bought it for me. And I was like, damn, it's like my resolution to not have any energy drinks. But it was like, we're at a ski lodge. So of course it was like $7 for one can of Monster. So I drank it. And that just opened the floodgates kind of like,
oh no,
it got really bad. I was working with my friend Jimmy last year and drinking a lot of them because he would buy like 4 at a time because they had the sale. And then it got really bad again once I started being a surveyor because I'd have to be at a job 2 hours away by 7 a.m. So I'd be waking up at like 4, driving for 2 hours. And I remember when I was young, I was really judgmental of people who said like they have to smoke while driving. But I feel like I need to be drinking something while I'm driving. Big fan of drinking and driving. So I just got into like drinking Monsters. And of course, it's just as much to get 2 as it is to have 1. I'm like, I'll have 1 for tomorrow. And I'll just drink 2 in a row. There was one day, there was a sale for 3. I woke up, had a cup of coffee, drank 3 Monsters by noon, and then got a cold brew on my lunch break at noon, and I felt nothing.
Dude,
no caffeine, like jitters at all. I'm a machine.
Yeah, well, you are. That's honestly impressive. If this was a game show and you were like, this human can drink this much by noon, is he dead or alive? I'd be like, hey, dead. Final answer. Nope, he is alive. Meet Tom Kelly, the coffee boy.
So I haven't been drinking as much, probably just because I haven't been working as much, but also it's a lot hotter outside. You can expect the attic to be 140 or 150 degrees, and caffeine seriously dehydrates you. So I'm just trying to drink a lot of water and coconut water. So it's slowing down for the summer. It got really bad during this spring, though. So
I've just been filling glasses to the brim with ice cubes and pouring it over that every morning. I think I'm drinking less, but it's definitely ends up
Your
just
coffee?
being watery. Yeah, that's like my cheap jailbreak iced coffee. I just brew it hot and just dump it over ice, which is not the best way, I don't think.
Well, no, that the Japanese method of iced coffee is if you were doing, like, if you're making 8 cups of coffee, not like mugs, but 8 cups, what you'll do is you'll dose out 8 tablespoons of coffee grounds, and then you'll put the equivalent of 4 cups of ice in the coffee pot, and then you put 4 cups of water to brew into it. So then you're getting the same amount of water accounting for the ice. So you're like double dosing the coffee with how much water, but then you equalize it with how much ice is in there.
Whoa.
So like that's how we made iced coffee at the coffee shop I worked at before we started doing cold brew, which is worth the wait if you get into making cold brew.
You know, I was looking into it a little bit, and I feel like between the two of us, I can tell there's going to be like 17 sniffles edited out of this show. So I think I had an embarrassing one while you were talking last, but
no one will know.
Matt's ears are just tingling with ASMR, like nasal congestion.
Can we give him one good sniff right now?
Oh God, I'm so skeptical of
3,
this exercise.
2, 1.
I don't know. There you go. Just
Okay.
clear it right up. The Flonase days.
Okay, energy drinks, bad. I
Are
tried.
you happy with the choices you've made in your life, Matt? You're sitting here, well, I don't know if it's some type of Vancouver or Montreal or Winnipeg public transportation, I imagine, with 90s era headphones because you take care of your stuff, your technology, and 2 grown men from America just sniffled in your ear. And I think we're all questioning how we got here. I think it's really what's happening. For those who don't know, Matt is our Canadian fan who's become sort of a character in the show itself. And now we're just trapped here, sniffling into each other's headspaces. And anyway, moving on.
Yes.
I just want everyone to take a minute to think about what they're about to do today and the choices they made this week and where we all are and how we all got here. All right. This is the episode for reflection, right?
Yeah,
There
absolutely.
you go.
So I had a pretty important one. It got heavy on that last episode. I wanted to go back to therapy. My health insurance covers 26 free sessions, but there's this like weird thing where, I mean, I guess it's not weird for health insurance. You have to go to someone who's covered by whatever their system is. And I had like a consultation with this dude who I super vibed with. He was like, he was a podcaster. He was a recording engineer. He owned a record label.
I feel like you mentioned this to me. He sounded so perfect.
Oh, he was so dope. And he was like, Tom, I really want to work with you. Like, he's like, I feel like you don't need therapy. I feel like you need business advice because you're feeling depressed about your business not going well. And he was also, God, what was he? He was a business consultant as well. It's just like, this dude's perfect, right? And then the insurance company called me. They're like, yeah, we don't cover him. So I was like, well, now I'm depressed. Like, come on.
No. I need him more than ever.
So he was like, he didn't have some certification that made him eligible for this program. So I didn't go, especially I'm feeling like okay now, I don't think going to therapy is ever a bad thing. I mean,
yeah, I had a boss once that was like appalled to hear one of my coworkers hadn't even tried it once. I was like, everybody should.
Right.
Her attitude about it, I thought was really nice.
I forget what country it is, but it's just like or maybe it's like Argentina where everyone has a therapist. They're like, oh, who's your therapist? It's like just a conversation point.
Yeah.
It's just, it's.
I like that better than what's your sign. I don't know how we ended up down that path.
God. Anyways, no therapy. I have not made friends. Again, mainly because we're trying to leave a little bit, but
You're trying to leave?
You're trying to leave
For
Denver.
real this time?
Yeah. At some point, I don't know. Looking at houses in Cincinnati, looking at houses in Kauai cannot be more opposite places.
Are you really looking at Cincy?
I mean, Megan is like, I'm not going to Cincy, but I love it, dude. I think it's a killer place. I wouldn't look twice if you and Kyle and D&D guys weren't there. I mean, that's a lot of draw. But I feel like if we moved to Cincinnati and then you and Jesse just like left, I'd be like, well, what the am I gonna do now? You know,
you should look at Yellow Springs, Ohio. It's where Dave Chappelle lives.
Ooh.
It's near like a nice place to hike.
Okay.
It's about an hour north of Cincinnati, so we could still see each other all the time. And Megan might feel like it's not the worst place.
She wants
like
mountains.
It's like Ohio's Asheville. I think I can go as far as to say that.
Okay.
The Asheville of southern third of Ohio, which is saying either a lot or nothing at all. I can't tell.
My other thing here, I wanted to make $75,000 this year with an arbitrary 35% being self-made. I don't even know how much 35% of 75. That's about 21,000, 22. Let me check here real quick. Yeah, 26,000 self-made. I'm not at 75 mainly because Tesla slowed down, which is fine. But for the editing work, I'm making around $2,000 a month, which puts me at about 24,000 a year. I'm not going to make that because it started slow, but I have the potential to make that 35% goal. So I'm incredibly happy about that because when we started the show, I had a client prospect. So I feel like I'm killing it right now. That's super good.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's only going to grow from here, right?
Right. My other money goals were $1,000 in beard balm sales. And I think the funny thing about that conversation was I mentioned meeting that guy at 16-Bit Club who was like, oh, let's start a beard company. I'm a graphic designer. He gave me his card. I looked at his website and it was terrible. And it still had the badge at the bottom that said, this website was created with Wix. I'm like, you're not a graphic designer or a web designer. You made a free website and didn't even take away the proof.
He's got the entrepreneurial spirit.
Right. But then I ended up changing the name of the company to 8-Bit Beard Club. And it was like the story about 16-Bit Bar. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I had the design work done. I just ordered all the supplies to make the first batch to send out samples to people. So that's on the way. I feel like I can have $1,000 of sales in the next 6 months. Things are just about ready to go. I wanted to make $50,000 in sales for Elevated Ambiance, which was the wedding lighting company that my buddy Jimmy does. He wanted me to be a part of. He's impossible to get a hold of, but he was laid off by Tesla. So he was saying like, he's just going to continue working at the bar that he lives above. And it's motivation to, really start the company, really get things going with it. So maybe in the future we can start doing more of that because that would just be fun and easy money to make with my friend. So no news on that, but maybe in 26 weeks I'll have some more.
Woohoo.
Yeah, so that was a few. What else do you have in here? Did you get...
I got a heart full of love and a pocket full of dreams, Tom.
Okay.
That's what I have.
Is there a passport in one of those pockets?
Yeah. Done. Check it.
Woo!
Toss it.
You wanted
get a guitar.
To go... Yeah.
The two things I didn't do is
guitar.
make a red Italian pasta sauce or get a guitar. Those are the two. Those are my two big
Those
swings
are
and
the
misses.
easiest fucking things, Pat.
I'll get it done. I still have 6 months.
Okay.
The fact that I got the hard stuff on the list done gives me hope that I can just make a sauce and acquire a guitar in the next 6. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think if you look at the list, you're like, damn, that's a good year.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it is a good
Getting
year.
married, getting a passport, becoming a big brother, things like that. Then like, oh, what's left? I just like kind of eating and visiting a music store. Like, that's like, oh, cool. So you get the heavy lifting out of the way. That's nice. That's good.
That's dope.
Oh, yeah. I had on there save for a down payment for the house.
Yeah.
And
How's that?
I put another whoops there because that just kind of became the wedding fund and we're going for it. So
Okay.
Whoops.
Yeah. So you guys are
So
paying.
no house fund at all.
You guys are paying for the wedding out of
Yeah.
yourselves.
Turns out, Tom, it was a wedding fund all along.
But so there was a savings account there.
Yeah. And we were on our way to several dollars.
Wow. Okay. Well, then you got it.
Yeah. But then we're just, we pivoted.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was a pivot.
It was a pivot.
Yeah. So her family's helping out with certain things and my family's helping out with certain things. And we're using that amount of money to pay for certain other things. And so far, the hotel and flight accommodations for the honeymoon are booked. We got the flowers taken care of.
Where's the honeymoon?
Vancouver. I think we might have talked about this.
Yo, for real?
Oh, I thought we talked about this. Yeah. No, we're going to fly to Vancouver, Canada, the Sunday after the wedding. And then we're gonna,
we did talk about that. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. The first part of the week, we're going to stay kind of on the water and treat it like more of an ocean-y, chill hangout thing to relax after all the wedding planning.
Oh, yeah.
I think the middle of the week is going to be more of the nature stuff. We're going to do that giant suspension bridge they have and hike up near where they hosted the Olympics. Or maybe that's higher up. I kind of forget. My sister bought me a Lonely Planet book on Vancouver that I've been leafing through. And then kind of the last part of the week is we're going to go on do more of the like bar hopping, urban city setting stuff. There's just a ton to do in that city. But I imagine us riding bikes, like comically romantic, like along the seaway trails they have over there and stuff. So
that's awesome.
I'm very excited. Yeah,
that's incredible, man. Super, super happy for you.
I doubt it'll trump the Maui Wowie helicopter Kazawi that you guys went on. But
well,
was that the name of the tour?
Yeah, the Maui Wowie, whatever. We were nowhere close to Maui.
Helicopter Kazawi, dude. How dare you speak ill of that helicopter company? I think that was actually the name of a indoor water park slide in Erie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Splash Lagoon, dude.
Oh, God.
A Pittsburgh Steeler went there in 1987.
So what else do I have here? Budgeting. Not really. I was kind of good about that, but then I started coming across more money than I was used to, and I started spending it all, which leads me to, have I paid my student loans yet? Nope.
Segue.
But although my student loans went from...
Could you do like a quick blurb, like a little fart of a club horn for that like awesome segue? Just burp.
So my student loans went from collections to a lawyer's office, which is real bad because they are the ones who are able to take income and houses away. But my mom got on the phone with some lady. There was one lady who's just trying to be a hard ass and wasn't happy with the way I was responding to her because I just didn't take her seriously, you know? So a new lady called my mom. My mom worked some stuff out. They worked out a payment plan. So I'm going to call today and, oh God, have to pay quite a lot of money, but you know, I'll just have to budget so I can pay my loans. So in 6 months, I can report that those things are being done. Loans do need to get paid. It's pretty serious at this point. Somehow my credit score is still awesome. I don't know. I'm doing something right somehow. But
well, that's good.
But yeah, so I'm going to have to make even more money because there's going to be a lot going out to those, but I'm kind of sick of being crushed to death by student loans. So other than that, I just had visit Cincinnati with Megan to try to sell her on it. That hasn't happened. I have no more vacation
and it won't,
time.
And that's fine.
But the last thing that I had was a lot of Ron Carnage related stuff.
I was going to say, we kind of finished a story.
Yeah.
And kind of wrote half of another one.
Yeah.
Question mark. Your dad got me at the wedding when he was talking about it.
Really?
And he asked for a rewrite, but go for it instead of kind of apologizing for itself the whole way through. And I was like, oh. That's...
Wait, what?
Yeah, we talked for like a long time about it. He was like, take it seriously and just write, you know, he said it was too choppy and like, it wasn't like a real adventure novel because it was so like, oh, I'm going to misquote him and he's going to probably write the show and ask me to leave disgracefully. But no, he was just like, believe in what it is and make it more of what it is, you know, like sink into it and try for a rewrite. And I thought that was good advice, probably.
I do agree that it's not really an adventure novel. Like literally nothing happens the whole time. But I think it's almost written more of like as a TV show, which is like fine. I mean, but if it's a novel, I mean, I would like more adventure for sure, but I think it's hilarious. But is it just because I had a very small hand in it, you know? It was like written?
You were there. You were there the whole time. So was the whole Elemental team for the whole way through. So
I don't know. I mean, obviously it's kind of my dad's humor a little bit, but I think he's maybe thinking about it all differently. I mean, I do think there needs to be...
I liked what he had to say. I just when you say, I wish there was more action, we've been over this. What are you supposed to like? And then he took his sword and swung that at the enemy of his. You know what I mean?
Right. It's hard. It's hard because it's a comedy and it's fucking hilarious. How, like, I don't think it needs a rewrite, maybe just more substance, but is that the point of the, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
It is its weird, goofy project.
Right.
I say we just release it and release the all of it was leading up to a book about hurling, which is really a lifelong goal of both of ours, and everyone knows this. But Ron Carnage, or what's it called? For the Love of the Hurl.
For the Love of the Hurl,
Ron Carnage story.
So anyway,
back into that.
The goals about that were to write a 60,000 page novel. It turned into a 36,000 word novella. I wanted to find an agent who would get it published. I guess I'm the agent in that case, and I've sent it out to a few publishers. There could be more. I don't think my dad is the target audience, obviously, but he probably has good advice.
Yeah, he does. But you're the target audience. It's all for you, man.
It's all for me. If nothing else, I'm definitely going to get like a hardcover book made, even if I just make 2 for each of us.
It definitely was. Well, we'd have to get it copy edited first. I mean, that thing's a mess. But it was definitely somewhat of a form of payment for the mic you bought me 2 years ago. It's like, well, I don't have anything at all to give you for this.
Right,
I don't really know what's happening, but here's a book, and you can keep half of whatever it makes if it ever does. And at the very least, I hope you enjoy it.
Right. Oh, man. Well,
Maybe that'll be my new business model. Like, I don't have anything to give you, but I'll write you a book. What are you talking about? Just like come up with a goofy name, and I'll give you 36,000 words.
You'd rather spend 4 months writing than just giving someone $200?
I think it's more meaningful. Okay. Yeah. Let everyone know that we're open for business. Do you want a book? We'll write you a book. You just have to hang out with us and chill. You don't even have to pay for it. Just like, you want 30,000 words? We'll give you 30,000 words.
So I think all in all, we're doing pretty well this year. We're a little more than halfway through.
Year, man.
It's a very busy year.
Everyone's getting the married, and everyone is, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot going on. But then again, I feel like there's nothing going on. I wouldn't mind if, I don't know. I switched shifts because Jesse works nights. And hopefully by next year, we're at a regular 9 to 5 thing so we can kind of enjoy the world on weekdays.
Right.
Like normal folk. That would be nice, because sometimes it feels like you only have the weekends and stuff when you work nights. And we enjoy our mornings together, but as we start getting into the big brother, big sister type thing, it would be nice to go to weekday baseball games with, the people from the program and things like that.
For sure.
And it'll probably just be easier. It's like, hey, you want to meet at 10 a.m. to shoot hoops? It's like, yeah, I guess, but that's a little bizarre.
I think you should quit your job and become a self-employed podcast producer.
Sure. I'm in. Where do I sign?
Yesterday, I didn't start working until 1:30 in the afternoon.
No, for the record, I enjoy my work.
Okay.
I don't want anybody listening to this to think otherwise.
It's all Pat talked about. Work, work, work. I love it. Yeah. Everyone I work with is so smart. That's all he ever talks about.
They've been very good to me.
They have, right?
Like, this isn't a weird bit. This is not a bit. I would super prefer just to move on.
Okay. So I didn't start working until 1:30 yesterday, it's just nice to have that freedom, right? Right. I found an Apple Watch Series 3 on Facebook Marketplace. And it
hasn't even been 5 minutes since we talked about your loans, you son of a
Well, this was a business expense, Pat.
Was it you're a piece of work. You know that.
So I'm messaging this girl. She's selling it for $300, which is like $100 less than brand new. It's a really sick rose gold.
I don't care if it's $100 less than brand new. Don't buy the watch.
Listen, Pat, I've got a good story.
It better be a great story, because whoever ends up being your financial advisor when shit hits the fan, they're going to be like, who let you behave this way for so long? I'll be like, don't look at me. Don't look at me at all.
So I message her. I'm like, hey, super interested in the watch. Can you meet up, whatever. And after I get her to agree to meet with me, I was like, I hate to ask this because I like to just give people what they're asking. But I'm trying to buy this watch for my wife. We just got back from our honeymoon, and I don't know if you know this, but Kauai is super expensive. Would you consider $250? And I'm just, milking the wedding for all I can. The watch isn't for her, it's for me. And she says, yeah, sure. I'll give it to you for $250. So I meet with her downtown yesterday at like 11:30 in the morning, and she gives me the watch. I give her the money, put the watch in my car, and I immediately go to the Apple store to buy the sport loop for it because I didn't want the pink sand strap. And I'm in the Apple store and I'm holding the watch, and I was like, oh, the dial on it is red. That means it's cellular enabled, right? And the girl at the Apple store goes, oh, yeah, that's cellular. This girl sold me a watch thinking it was the GPS only version for $250. And it's the cellular version, which people were selling on Marketplace for like $400. So I got this watch for over $200
Tom,
cheaper
I
than
don't
brand
care.
new.
You don't need the watch. I don't care what the deal was. You could have put that money on your loans, and you could have been not doing these things for years.
My loans. I told my dad about it. I was telling my dad, because he has like an Apple Watch and he loves it. It's one of the older ones, but I was telling him like all the reasons why I justified buying it. And he texted me back. He was like, Tommy, I know you live with this Catholic guilt. He's like, you don't need to justify everything that you do. You work hard. You earned that watch. Enjoy it. And I was like, wow, thanks, Dad.
Nice.
That Catholic,
the Catholic
guilt.
We should really have just named the show that.
So I got this dope watch now. It's pretty cool. I'm excited about it.
It's pretty cool. Jesus Christ. When in 12 calendar months you are visiting me and give it to me for free because you're like, yeah, I guess I don't really need it anymore. I'm going to cry. I'd be like,
Hey, that slow watch was free though.
Oh, okay.
I didn't
That's
pay
fine.
for that.
I'm sorry. I'll stop dragging you. It's too early in the morning for this type of.
I gave you a
this
gift
type of-
and you're b***ing here.
I'm just trying. I don't even know if I'm trying to help you. I just I'm like, so, figuring out my finances. By the way, went out and got this watch. Has one extra feature than I thought. By the way, no, I'm just kidding. Sorry. I don't really care. I'm happy you have a watch.
So we have been forgetting to do songs of the weeks. Do you have one? John.
Oh, that's a really good question.
You just want me to start?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. There's an album that comes out the day this episode comes out. It is by the band Real Friends. The album is called Composure. They have a song called From the Outside. And I wasn't too thrilled with their last album. Mainly, I had issues sonically with it. It didn't sound very good. This new album sounds great. It's super catchy, very poppy. I'm super excited about it. Real Friends, I've been with them since the first EP, and they're out there killing it. And I'm excited for that. The music video is a lot of fun, very colorful. Put a link in the show notes. reminiscentpodcast.com/episode/83 is where you'll find those. Do you have anything or no?
Did I already do the Born Ruffians a couple episodes ago?
I don't think so.
Oh, cool. Well, then Miss You by the Born Ruffians. Yeah, I did. I told you to go watch those YouTube videos.
No, you just texted that to me, though. I don't know if you formally recommended it.
Well, the song Miss You by the Born Ruffians. I've been enjoying it quite a bit lately.
Awesome.
It's not a podcast or a book, Tom. It's a gall dang song. All right. Will you love me now? Is this what it takes?
Should we get some club horns on that?
Yeah, give me just let it rip.
Okay.
For
close out the episode with the club horns.
Yeah, keep it going for a few more seconds and I'll talk to you next week, my man.
All right. Love you, dude.
Bye. Love you too.
Bye. So I sharded about 20 minutes ago, so I'm going to go take care of that.